never look back. Hey, see this that championship music right here. That game 7, 3 seconds left on the clock. Are you gonna take it? Don't lose your focus.
Yeah, focus, you gotta focus. Else you're hopeless what you choose. Win or lose, you know the rules.
Never give up, just keep your head up. Despite the pressure, it's gonna get better. You gotta get it, it's now or never.
Focus, you gotta focus. Else you're hopeless what you choose. Win or lose, you know the rules.
Never give up, just keep your head up. Despite the pressure, it's gonna get better. You gotta get it, it's now or never. I'm like bruh, Brady in his prime. Houston 95 against all odds. I promise I will rise. I got that Jordan drive, it will to win. Cause from deep within, boy, I get it in. From the start to the very end, me and it to win. Switch it up, it's 2 minutes left. Gotta get the touch. I'm like Tebow when it comes to clutch. You can count on me, 4th and go, and I'm gonna score. That's the Super Bowl, I'll get that ring. Had to catch my dream, did it with my team. Feel like Poppy bottom of the ninth on our second out. Up the back, and the base is loaded, and we down by 3. Home run on the second strike. Tried to throw a curve, I'm on course. Winning is the source. We headed up north, that's to the top. I won't ever drop, I won't ever stop. Popping bottles of the champagne, had to make it rain. We the best, we the team that's left. Told y'all we was next, won't lose my focus. I ain't never hopeless, I ball out like Kobe.
Focus, you gotta focus. Else you're hopeless what you choose. Win or lose, you know the rules.
Never give up, just keep your head up. Despite the pressure, it's gonna get better. You gotta get it, it's now or never.
Focus, you gotta focus. Else you're hopeless what you choose. Win or lose, you know the rules.
Never give up, just keep your head up. Despite the pressure, it's gonna get better. You gotta get it, it's now or never.
I'm like Kobe in the finals, and I'm going for my 6th ring. We down 2, we need a 3 to win. I'll take the whole thing. I had dreams to get it for my team and put us on the scene. Best believe, clutches in my jeans. I win by any means, I won't be stopped. Grinding in the morning like a coffee shop. If I'ma take us to the top, I cannot let my focus flop. My head is in the game, can't let the level of my focus drop. Cause I will not lose, the game ain't over till you out of clock. Been training for this moment, 4th and inches, this your only shot. I hit the hole and break him off like Barry when he told the Rock some mood to change. You better get.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of That's Debatable. I'm Will Ward. This is my co-host,
Jeremiah Bays. What's up, bro?
Not much, man. Thank you for joining us. Got an action-packed show today. Going to start off with the Team USA. You see them got the home squad, got the goal, brought it back home. There's a couple of questions there at the beginning. They started off a little rocky, scared the USA.
Never any questions, Mike.
There's no questions, but that's debatable. We're going to start off with that.
It was never any questions. From day one, I've always had faith. I'm looking through my notes. I'm not on my phone, people. I'm looking through my notes. But since day one, I always knew what time it was, bro. I always believed in them. Just because they was gonna be led by the best player in the world, man. It's just the inevitable to happen. The slow start was really just they had to take time to gel. It was a bunch of new players, so this is a whole fresh start. And they got off slow with the Nigerian loss. And who we lose to after Nigeria? Australia?
Yes, sir.
And then, everybody wants to troll. People forget about the trolling. Me being a troller myself, I can't help but to forget other people trolling. So I definitely have some receipts written for some people who doubted the USA.
It wasn't a doubt in my mind. It was just
not from you, but it's
I'm just
the
putting
internet. The internet.
It was just a thing of, like you said, they had to mesh a little bit, had to gel, get themselves together. But it was just a point of, we're supposed to be the best team in the world, have the best players in the world, and it shouldn't be a kind of a point of getting yourselves together. Yeah, KD led the team, and all of the fault would have came down on KD. But you had guys like,
Tatum stepped up. He had
Tatum
19
stepped
points
up
in that big game.
I think once Booker, and even though he didn't have a big game in the finals,
Not Book.
I think his,
all three
you know,
of them, the
when you had
additional
Middleton and Drew Holiday, when they came, it changed the kind of dynamics of the team and made them. I think the losses also made them realize that they have to step up and have to, you know, come a little bit harder because everybody knows that the world has caught up with Team USA and has more, you know, able players. It's not just your normal.
I get at a little pushback. I wouldn't say the world caught up. The world got better, and we're still the best. I wouldn't even say that they caught up. It could go both ways, how you want to look at it. I mean, as far as winning by 40 like we used to, I mean, I get to where we just won by 5. And it took a strong fourth and second quarter from our guys to pull it off. So it was kind of tougher. I could get that, but we still the best, man. No doubt about it.
I mean, when you break it down and you look at the final game and you see KD led all scores with 29 points.
9 of 18.
You can't argue with that. And most of his shots that, you know, you can't really contest them. You kind of hope to contain them and hope that maybe he missed. But it took for him to step up and do what we expect for him to do. As we try to dub him as the best player in the game right now, that's what the best player is supposed to do.
Absolutely. I expect nothing less from KD. Jason Tatum pitched in with 19 points off the bench, having 8 for 14, 3 for 5 from deep. That was big, and that boy hit some big shots when France tried to rally, and he hit 2 back-to-back threes that kept giving him a stiff arm. Like, nah. So shout out to Jason Tatum for that. I'm expecting some big things from him this year. We gonna see how Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics go. On a side note, just because I just right before the show, getting into an argument of who's better, Jason Tatum or Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine chipped in with 5 points off the bench as well. He had a big 3 in the corner from a pass from KD, and he had a Draymond little dump off baseline layup. And those were some crucial 5 points, but Zach LaVine's defense was highlighted. We had Dame and Drew both chip in for 11. Dame didn't shoot the ball well. Come to find out, he has an injury. So I think it's a wrist injury as well. That definitely affects a shooter like him. He's not really the most efficient either, but, hey, everybody can't beat KD. What, bro?
Hey, man,
gotta give my man his flowers. It ain't the Larry O'Brien, but hey, the gold
is gold.
Gold is gold. We're still the best in the world. It's just he just get to prove that next year on why he get to get that Larry O'B. But we gonna get into that later.
But he was the only one. I give it to Kevin. He was the only one that chose to go to the Olympics. Out of everybody else, Dame also
out of the top players.
But you know, everybody else was kind of chosen. KD said, I'm going to lead Team USA. So I got to give him credit for that. Big ups to KD and the whole rest of the Team USA. Congratulations on the gold, and we appreciate your service.
KD got 4 medals. 3 USA golds.
And
1
he's
FIBA.
the number 1 scorer right now.
All time. So
all-time leading scorer. I think he's averaging over 30 in the gold medal games I saw today.
Which is
very
exorbitant.
A gold medal is rarer than an NBA title. I mean, just
comes
in the
around
way
every
it's
4
set up.
years. Yeah.
And shout out to the USA women.
Right.
USA women
was it 7 straight or 9 straight? Something odd like that I just seen.
Since it's up, yeah. I can't remember the exact number, so shout out to that.
The years is off, but I think it's like 7 straight.
What was the other big one? USA women's volleyball getting their first ever gold medal. I was very surprised that was the first U.S. women's volleyball team to win the gold.
It's volleyball. They might take that a little more serious overseas.
It's still that's where I'm at though. Like that's my mindset as Team USA.
We should just demolish everybody.
And everything, right?
Yeah, we should just demolish everybody.
Yeah, but. You know,
I mean, on to another, we're talking about Team USA. We're talking about the Olympics still. I've seen a lot out of the track and field that I was surprised about. We had a couple other wins that, you know, usually I think it was Canada and the 200, they got a win. And it was a couple other, you know, events that was just the Olympics in a whole I think it was a success after all the adversity of COVID and definitely having the Olympics in Tokyo.
Side note, to start it off with Sha'Carri and that incident to what's my girl's name? The other gymnast, Simone Biles. Yeah, her Simone issues, Biles. And then Naomi Osaka wasn't Olympic related, was it?
She just got bounced.
Yeah.
She bounced like first or second round. It was way early, and there wasn't any. She just straight up got beat.
So her mental health thing was before the Olympic thing.
Yeah.
Okay, she's been. That's been an ongoing thing with her for a few months.
Okay, but
And talking to reporters after majors was kind of where it started with, sort of that thing. But yeah, especially Simone Biles.
All right, yeah. So
Keeping it at the mental health has been a very big topic of discussion, over the last year, especially with athletes.
yeah,
Which I think is good. I mean, it's an issue. It's things we all have to deal with, and I can't imagine that kind of pressure too. We, especially from our side, the viewing side, watching athletes, it's real easy to criticize play, things they say, how they act, that kind of stuff.
yeah. Especially the cancel culture we got today.
Dude, I can't imagine that kind of pressure.
I mean, at the end of the day, they're all still human, and they all have the same exact, feelings that we have as regular humans, but theirs are magnified. And, they have to do things that when it comes down to just the regular life that we live, they still have to go through COVID. They still have to go through, family members dying. They still have to, but they don't get that break. They don't get bereavement at all times. They don't get, the same type of breaks that we get as regular human beings, if you want to call us that.
Yeah, you can't just – it's a lot different for a pro athlete to call in sick, take a day off, or, hey, I lost somebody in my life.
Because you still expect for those people to stand up and do what they're paid to do and do what, we look for them to do. But, still, like we said, mental health is big, and we have to give them their time to either grieve or, to have their moment. So to have somebody like Simone Biles to go out and people kind of question her abilities or question her judgment, I don't fall into all of that. So that's a whole other topic, but we'll keep rolling.
Yeah. Big shouts out to Team USA in every department that's out there, not just basketball, but obviously that's really what I'm a fan of. So shout out to the team for winning gold. Shout out to every Olympian out there. Y'all did y'all's thing. We was all impressed. Nothing that I could do, so hey,
None of us
you got me
Olympian
beat
for
by
a
a
reason.
mile.
Dude, that's
you got me beat by a mile.
That's for sure. And with that, we're I didn't realize it. I mean, I know the Winter Olympics are next year, but in February, I think. So we're looking at a short 6, 7, 8 month turnaround before we're back into the discussion for, the Winter Olympics. And with the COVID resurgence and all those things, it definitely just keeps the sports clock moving,
Oh, yeah.
Stupid COVID, right?
Something more to look forward to.
And
AKA
2024 is
population
still
control.
it's not a long way away, but it's still, a ways away. 2024 in Paris, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are looking forward to that already. So,
Well, I already seen Steve Kerr declare that Steph Curry will be in it. And he said the greatest shooter of all time will be there to prove that he's still the greatest.
I believe it when I see it.
I think Steph could have really played this year. Like, if you would have put Steph on that team, they would have, one, loved it more, but two, it would have been more of a blowout. Like, it's a couple players who I feel like could have been used that didn't go out. And no, not LeBron and Melo, not the older guys. I mean, like the guys that still smack dead in their prime, or I think all of the young stars pretty much came out for the most part. Like, all of the young rising stars outside of, like, the ones who are currently injured, like Donovan and Jamal Murray and stuff like that. But the Devin Bookers, Zach LaVine's, Tatum's, John Morant, Trey Young, and them, they can get their time in that on that platform. But a lot of the young guys came out, and out of the older guys, who I would have liked to see was the only one who didn't get hurt was Steph. Everybody else, like Harden, Kyrie, Clay's out. Yeah, so like those guys are all out. So
I think we're going to see more of stars, in the 2024 because of, how this Olympics played out and people were kind of expecting and looking for the stars and didn't really get them.
Yep.
So I think more of them may
that's
come
debatable.
out, coming up in 2024.
That's debatable. What stars? I mean, they still have some
ones you
high
just
profile.
named.
Yeah, the ones you
That's
just
like
named.
3 people. It's still some high profile players that went.
I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying like the ones that the marquee names of,
Like
Ja,
maybe instead of
Zion.
I mean, well, them is young,
Trey.
them is young stars.
Those are the
Okay,
ones
so
that's
those
gonna
guys,
take over the league in
they still
2024.
got time for that. I thought you meant like as far as the bracket of Steph and them because
no.
by the time 2024 or 20 when is the next one?
2024.
Yeah, so by the time that one hits, Steph and them would be 35, 36. Ace Brown and them now.
And I think that's why Steve Kerr might have said, because you've seen that Curry just signed that huge extension deal for 4 years. That's his last year of that contract, pretty much. So you may see him into his last year of his career by that time. Yeah. He may go out.
I don't know. He might get another contract. He might get another contract.
But on
his game plays,
on Will's point, to
for
the average NBA fan, those names draw a little bit more to us, but to the layperson, not having LeBron or Steph Curry for Team USA is kind of one of those like big market,
Yeah, but appreciate easy money, Sniper. Gotta appreciate that.
Not enough people do.
All right, now, so we're going to have to get into a transition to the Bucks just became champs. It was just not too long ago. Giannis was at Chick-fil-A. Now we had a week off. Now I don't know. Ain't nobody get canceled or nothing. We just had some vacations, so we had to take our time. Our time came right before we could really get our foot in the door, but now our foot's in the door. So every Monday from here on out, our foot's on your neck. But besides that, we've been off for a week. I just got back from Florida this morning from the road. Bucks just won a championship. Giannis was just at Chick-fil-A and the girl was just lost. And now all of a sudden, Russell Westbrook is a Laker. Carmelo's a Laker.
Dwight's back.
He should have never left, but that's their fault. They
NBA's been going crazy with free agents.
Oh my goodness, my Bulls made moves. My Bulls just made me happy. I think before we even get into the real title contenders, lower tier teams that made some moves that's trying to get into this top tier area. Not the teams that's already there and we're expecting things from them, but the Bulls made moves. The Miami Heat made moves. Boston made some moves. Heck, New York, if you want to count that. Atlanta trying to get right. You got, Washington ain't really. The thing about Washington is we're trying to figure out what Bradley Beal's going to do. They're not really going to make a move to where they could come back into that 3 to 6 seed range like how they was with Wall and Beal. But we're going to see what they do with Beal after that. I like the Dinwiddie move just because Spence has been through 2 major injuries and he still bounced back from them. So I like that for him. Who else made some moves? Phoenix. But they're one of the top tier teams. Still got rumors about Philly. Still got rumors about what Dame is going to do. But out of the lower tier teams, who you think? What moves did you like the most?
I like the ones that the Bulls made. I like the ones that you've seen, of course, in LA. That's not really a lower tier team. That's NBA title contender. Believe it or not, I think that with the Bulls making those transitions, that does not bring them up into an upper echelon type team. And I keep being confused of why people are pushing them up so high to a contender now.
It's Brooklyn, it's Milwaukee, and it's everybody else. Out of everybody else, the Bulls could be right there.
Where at the play-in, we got to remember about the play-in tournament. That's where the Bulls should be looked at.
No, that's where they should have been last year, but Zach caught COVID. I don't even think they would have. This is my argument earlier, but that's not like we missed the playoffs at the end of the day, so we missed the playoffs. But all I'm saying is, with 18 games left in the season, right before he was diagnosed with COVID, we was sitting at the 7th spot. He gets diagnosed with COVID. We lose. He misses 11 games, and that's with 18 games left. So he misses 11 of those games, and we go 3-8, completely falling out. While Indy, Washington, Charlotte is all rising. Like, we was above all of them teams already before he caught COVID, and that be my argument with but y'all didn't make the play. I mean, okay, like I get that. We was gonna be there out of the 7th, 8th range this past year. The teams made my guys made the moves to get Vooch at the deadline. They got off the Otto Porter contract. Like if you're a Bulls fan, since you asked, not a Bulls fan, which most people were Bulls fans because of the GOAT, or if you're from the area. But if you're a Bulls fan, we like the move not because we're back into contention, but because we're back into relevance. And we got a nice young star, fresh off an Olympic gold, who's still trying to learn how to win, who had one of his best seasons ever last year. So That's why, with the addition of Lonzo Ball, unselfish defensive pass-first point guard who's only getting better, whose shot improved. Like, he's been improving his free throw and three-point shot every year, something that Ben Simmons hasn't been doing. So we could really argue, is Lonzo better than Ben? But with the veteran presence and addition of DeMar DeRozan for just to show Zach some other things and tricks of the trade, is Zach's team that they're clearly building around Zach. We got the veteran presence in Vooch. I would like to figure out what we're gonna do in marketing, just to see what it's gonna do. But we're trying to get back into relevancy. This isn't a move for contention. We're still gonna see how that goes later on down the line. We got to see if Levine's gonna pop. Just me as a Bulls fan and just a fan of the game in general, because the league is better when the Bulls is better.
So are you putting the Bulls back into at least the 8th seed?
No, you can't hear me. I'm putting them right in the mix with everybody else.
Mid-tier. Who'd they draft?
We didn't have a first round pick this year because we traded him for Vooch. We drafted the kid from Illinois. The dude, he took the picture of the trophy.
Guard.
Yeah, it's I ain't trying to get his name wrong, but he got dreadlocks.
Yeah,
He wore the black mask. But that's what we drafted in the second round. Was he good piece? We still got Kobe White. I just think we could make a little bit of noise and not necessarily. Like, I'll see if I gotta figure the rest of this gotta get figured out. But I think we right in there in between the 3 and the 6 seed, not in playing territory. Like, who do you think we're gonna be at the bottom with? Like Indy, Charlotte. Like, why do you think we're gonna be battling with them? We already got a better start than all of them. Our number one better player is better.
You're
than all
saying 3? That's a high 3.
It's not out of every. So that means battling with Miami.
Yeah.
Battling with. We don't even know what Boston's going to be. I think like the 4 or 5 seed, the 3 seed last year was Milwaukee. So the top 3 seeds is, if you want to throw Philly in the upper echelon, I'm not, because we don't know what's about to happen with them. So the top 2 teams for sure, Brooklyn and Milwaukee. Brooklyn added Patty Mills. If you want to get into the top tier additions, Milwaukee lost some pieces. They lost PJ Tucker. And, well, my guy Bobby came back, but they lost PJ Tucker, and PJ Tucker was big for them. So
on defensive end.
Yeah, because it takes a lot off of Giannis, because PJ Tucker shadowed KD the whole game. Regardless if he's going to make KD, he's going to make KD work. You don't want Giannis drawing fouls and all of that crap on him. So, like, PJ Tucker was a good asset. And you don't even want Middleton on somebody like Tucker. I mean, not on somebody like a KD or something like that. You want Middleton on that guard, like how they was doing they had Middleton on Book, and they was putting Drew on CP. Like, you want Middleton for the guards. You really don't want Middleton you want to keep PJ Tucker for that, just to do the dirty work on the KDs, Kawhis, LeBrons.
So you go Brooklyn, Milwaukee, 1, 2.
Whoever
you got maybe Philly. We're not really taking Philly at 3. Still got Miami, who's just made huge additions.
Who did they add? Just Kyle Lowry.
They made Kyle Lowry.
They added PJ Tucker.
The Heat did.
Yeah, the Heat.
But defense, like you said, I still see offensive struggles from that team. And Jimmy Butler is one of my favorite players, biased because I'm a Bull. So he's not the best option when he's your one option. Now we got to see what this Team USA experience. We got to see what this Team USA experience did for Bam, and how, because Bam he really has to be the best player on that team for them.
They're still at the 4 or 5 spot. I can't move them no lower than 4, possibly 5.
And then who's their
still
bench?
got Atlanta, still coming in strong.
I think we're competing with them. So I'm not.
So that's where you bring you guys in at.
So like Zach LaVine, I'm taking Zach LaVine over. I don't care what Trae Young just did in the playoffs. Shout out to Trae Young for just doing that in the playoffs. I still blame Ben Simmons and them for not doing what they were supposed to do to prevent that from happening. Because if they handle business as the 1 seed, Trae Young ain't even supposed to be there. Trae Young's a talented player. I'm still taking Zach LaVine over him. Not being biased there. I like Trae. And we just gonna have to see, because the addition of DeMar DeRozan and Lonzo is huge. It's huge for,
and you got
and the Knicks. We're definitely better than the Knicks.
You got to add him in.
Yeah, and he's a Bull. He's a little feisty guy. Like, he's gonna have to grow on me this year, because I kind of had an anti-hate for the Lakers. Whatever, call it what you want.
Of course,
but that's just the Lakers itself. I don't like the Lakers. I never have liked the Lakers. So, no matter who's there or not, I'm not gonna like them.
Yeah, I got them about 7, still in that play-in area. I can't move them up no higher than 6.
Or Indy.
Top.
Like, you got Indy. Washington's going to fall out. Washington was the AFC last year. They're out of it. So, who was in the play-in? Indy,
Charlotte.
but Indy was really there because of injuries. So Indy's going to be a playoff team, but
Boston.
somewhere 7-8. Boston, somewhere going to be in the 4-5-3 range. Maybe.
So the Bulls can sneak a play-in game.
They right there to play in. Possibly a little bit higher. At the top, I can give them 5. But we shall see.
At the highest. If I'm really being 100%, at the highest we could go is 4.
6.
We still got LA at the coming out of the West.
No.
Western Conference Finals latest.
Why do you think that?
Because if you look at who is in the West right now, it's not as strong as what it could be. If you're going to look at, the Clippers to come back and, maybe Paul George and Kawhi to do something. But other than that, that's
towards the back half of the season.
There's nobody else that's going to be at the top of the West. The Utah
why did you
Jazz
lose
is not about to be
faith?
number
Why
one.
did you lose faith in Utah? I mean, not Utah. He just said Utah. Phoenix. Why did you lose faith in Phoenix?
Phoenix was just Phoenix because of how the season went because of injuries.
That's not true.
You think Phoenix
Injuries
is about
didn't
to
derail
come
the
back
season.
and do the same thing that they just did?
As far as
Do it again.
be a top team in a regular season, yes.
I'm talking about the playoffs. Not,
You got
not the
to
regular
before you
season.
even get to the playoffs, because I don't think the Lakers. I think the Lakers aren't going to have the issues that I'm thinking about until playoff time. So the Lakers could be a
playoffs-
top team in the West.
Because
I
of
can see that.
experience, that's where the playoff is going to come.
What
and they're gonna
experience,
exceed.
bro?
LeBron by himself is going to lead the team. Not saying his play on the court is going to do everything.
The two
but his
additions.
experience.
The two main additions that came in. What experience do they got?
Russ, you talking about him?
What has his success been the last 4 years in the playoffs? If you want to just go playoffs,
He's going to carry us through the regular season.
I know.
And once you get
That's
to the
why I think they're
playoffs,
gonna
that's
have
where
a good-
LeBron and AD is going to take over, and he's just going to play his role.
why do you believe that Russ is going to take that back seat? Or why do you
Because
believe
he
that
wants to
Russ?
win.
Yeah.
He wants to win a championship.
So he never wanted to win with Kevin Durant.
He did, but the experience that he had and the maturity level that he was at was not where he's going to be at now.
He didn't want to
Now
win
you
with
know
James
he has-
Harden.
No, it wasn't
He
there
did.
yet.
They couldn't get it done.
Now you know what you have to do, and everybody wants to use this age, concept for LA to saying they're older. Now they're more mature, they're more a veteran, and they know that this is like pretty much the last ride. The last dance, if we want to call it that. So we're talking about great players on a great team.
No, I don't think so. But
I told you weeks ago that Russ is going to be here. I thought DeMar might be here. I thought Kyle Lowry. I got Russ. So now,
NCP, you just gave me the rumors that was all in the air.
you want to call it that, like you said, Bleach
Because you
Report.
named every
trusted
rumor
me.
that happened just now. It was only one that was really possible. And once the Russ move happened, I think right after the Russ move happened, the DeMar thing and the Bulls started happening. So I'm like, but I thought we was going to lose marketing in that trade when in fact we just gave them a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
I think the move of Dame, whenever Dame decides where he's going to go, that's still going to have some, play on where the NBA falls. Because if he moves east, then you get a power shift. Still, maybe in a little bit of the east.
Possibly. It depends on what team he goes to. Like, because if he goes to the Knicks, like I'm being rumored of hearing him go to that's not a power shift. That's just him going to the Knicks. A power shift is him actually clicking up with Embiid, or if he could possibly click up and go to Miami, because Dame as the lead, well, not even a leading scorer, because Jimmy Butler's the lead. Well, I would still take Dame over Kyle.
But you're not about to send a back seat to Kyle and put him on the bench.
Send Kyle to Portland.
Wow.
If I want to win, but Kyle Lowry's a winner. I'm not gonna do that to Kyle Lowry. But as far as point guards, I would rather have Dame. But this is what I think. The Lakers is going to have a good regular season just off the strength of what they got. And if they can stay healthy, because it just depends, because Russ been battling injury the past 4 years, whether it's his back, his knee, or his hamstrings. He's been battling injuries. Bron's been battling injuries. And AD been battling injuries since he became a big man.
Right.
So
I mean, injuries has played the whole NBA. It's not just that's the name of the game. Whoever can stay the healthiest, the longest, has a more opportunity to win.
how does LeBron and Russ work as two ball dominant players when Bron They say Bron kind of gave up the ball to Dennis Schroeder, but I mean, I don't really think that counts.
In the thoughts of winning a championship, all type of minds have to click. You know, it wasn't just a move that was just done overnight. You got to assume that LeBron had, you know,
he had to talk with him, and AD had to talk with Russ before the trade.
So you got to think that we already know what's coming into this season. We know what we want to do, and we know what kind of personality is going to mesh with who. So it has to.
How do you see that meshing?
There's a hierarchy. It's LeBron's team. It doesn't matter Russ's personality for being who he is. Everybody in the world knows it's LeBron's team, even Russell Westbrook.
Yeah,
he's the GM.
What you say, GM? What you say?
That's exactly right. I mean, Russ going in there knows that no matter what, you defer to LeBron.
And you know you got Malik Monk. You know you brought in more tools than just, you know.
So maybe
what experience does he have?
Experience is going to come.
Being on the biggest stage possible. He's like a 42% shooter. I don't even know if I got Malik Monk on here. No. I do.
Dude, they'll be fine.
He's a 40% shooter. So they added Kent Bazemore, Wayne Ellington, Trevor Ariza. Of course, Dwight Howard came back. And
just
of course,
spot up shooters.
I don't really think they're specialists. Like,
we're not calling them specialists like a Clay or a Steph or
Duncan Robinson.
Like that.
These are.
Duncan.
I mean, Wayne Ellington is a fighter, though. I like Wayne Ellington. Trevor Ariza, he got a dog in him, and to have him to finish his career out in LA where it all started. That's like his second time back to LA.
And if you put Melo out there, if you get Melo with the hoodie coming out there shooting like he's been shooting, we're not expecting a lot from, you know, just him to start or anything.
Right.
We're just looking to play their role.
Melo turns 38 in March.
He doesn't need to be
before the playoffs starts. He'll be 38.
28-year-old Melo. I mean, that's the thing. They're also trying to do. I don't know. You know, I don't know the NBA history real well, but this seems to be. They've got the talent and the personalities, and LeBron James is such a unique individual. AD's a unique talent, and they're sort of in a new world. Like, let's try and put some pieces together, which something that might not work, but
Lakers.
It's, you know, that's the thing is LeBron's such a unique talent. So is AD. They're in uncharted waters. He's been to however many finals. Like, let's take the best talent in the league throughout the last decade, see if we can make it happen, and roll from there. I mean,
yeah, we gonna see. We gonna see.
That's all.
I don't think it'll work come playoff time. I gotta see how LeBron and I needed my usage rates. I ain't have all my stats right here in front of me. But I just gotta see. I just know LeBron and Russ both are not off ball players per se.
Hey, it's only one ball in the whole entire game, you know. And if they can make it work in Brooklyn per se,
the play styles are different. It's not the same. It's 100% not the same because you could literally plug in Kevin Durant anywhere. So I guess their plug and player would be AD.
AD, yeah.
So the thing about Harden and Kyrie, which I was telling you before it happened, that Kyrie isn't a point guard. And as long as them two was going to be willing to give them to be one, James is just going to have to be the playmaker, which that's what it turned out to be. And then Kyrie is just, his job is to be a traditional two guard right now. And that's just, and he was 50, 40, 90. He had his best career possible before my man Giannis rolled up under him. Intentional accident, that's debatable. But that's what happened. So Russ and Bron aren't, you got nicknames of West Brick and La Brick. So like that's the thing. Russ has had by far his worst shooting numbers at the free throw line, and the 3-point line is only getting worse.
That's not going to be his key area for this team, though. You know, and I'm telling you,
where is he
LeBron,
going to be at?
even
with
though
Dwight Howard, Anthony Davis, and LeBron James all
that
in
mid-range
shot,
you know,
he doesn't even have a mini.
And everything is going to be.
He can't shoot free throws.
This is a new team. Everybody has expectation for them to fail already, so they're going to go back to the drawing board. This is going to be one of those moments. Everybody that's, Not in LA.
A lot of fans, and it's a lot of blind witnesses out there. it's a lot of blind witnesses out there.
I just think they're going to come up with new roles. They're going to have new expectations for themselves and come out and do different things in order for them to prevail in the playoffs.
Number one seed.
Number one seed? It ain't about the seeding because we seen them at the play-in game this past season. So it is once they get to the playoffs. That's
and they lost in the first round.
They did, but that was plagued by injuries.
I disagree. I just think the Suns was a better team. LeBron was still on the court, and he was more than 80%. Regardless if he wasn't 100%, he was more than 80%.
Your catalyst of your number one player on the team, LeBron is not the number one player on the Lakers team anymore. He's the glue. He's the general.
Everything
he's
runs
the
through
snake, the head of the snake or whatever. But he's not the person that's making this engine run. You know, AD has to come and not, be Mr. Glass. So if he can stay healthy, that's what he is. He falls down and I don't know if he didn't drink milk as a kid, what kind of calcium he has in his bones, but he has to remain healthy for LA to get to the Western Conference Finals.
So no, they're not too old to make the playoffs. I don't think their age isn't 100%. I just don't see it gelling.
It's experience, Even though if it's not playoff experience, it's all-star players coming together to see what they can do,
I got the same arguments right now that the anti-KD fans had about the Nets coming together. Except the only difference is I don't see it working because they're not shooters. I don't see it working because there's not a system. I don't see it working because the system that's being ran is the LeBron James system. There's no everything's dependent on. I gotta see it, bro. Because Russell Westbrook is a mini LeBron without the IQ, with all the talent, without the IQ.
Frank Vogel, LeBron James,
he ain't running that show. He just got an extension.
And Magic Johnson are all
get together. We got Le Coach, Le GM, Le Player.
It's gonna be a whole new LA for LeBron and the rest of the crew.
They're not the best team in LA. The best team in LA right now is the Clippers.
The Kings.
Actually, you know what? The Phoenix actually run that division because they won the West and the Pacific. So
ain't about to happen again, man.
Why not?
It's not.
Why ain't Booker going to take another leap forward? Why isn't Ayton going to become another leap forward? Why can't Bridges grow into that role to be a dominant three? Not dominant, but you know what I mean.
I just don't feel like that was a Cinderella type story.
How?
Well,
I think they only made it because the Clippers got hurt. What's your argument?
They did only made it because LA wasn't the strongest. If LA takes them out the first round, they don't even make it past the first round.
LA not taking them out the first round.
That's debatable, but that's going to bring us to the first, commercial break. Next segment, stay with us. We'll see you back.
If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score On Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit Be On Air. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score On Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
Yeah. Never look back. Hey, see this that championship music right here. That game 7, 3 seconds left on the clock. Are you gonna take it? Don't lose your focus.
Crap. Yeah, focus. You gotta focus. Else you're hopeless. What you choose? Win or lose, you know the rules.
Never give up, just keep your head up. Despite the pressure, it's gonna get better. You gotta get it, it's now or never.
Focus, you gotta focus. Else you're hopeless. What you choose? Win or lose, you know the rules.
Never give up, just keep your head up. Despite the pressure, it's gonna get better. You gotta get it, it's now or never. I'm like Brady in his prime. Houston 95 against all odds. I promise I will rise. I got that Jordan driving will to win. Cause from deep within, boy, I get it in. From the start to the very end, me in it to win. Switch it up, it's 2 minutes left. Gotta get the touch. I'm like Tebow when it comes to clutch. You can count on me. 4th and go, and I'm gonna score. That's the Super Bowl, I'll get that ring. Had to catch my dream, did it with my team. Feel like Poppy bottom of the ninth. On our second out, up the back, and the base is loaded, and we down by 3. Home run on the second strike. Tried to throw a curve, I'm on course. Winning is the source. We headed up north, that's to the top. I won't ever drop, I won't ever stop. Popping bottles of the champagne, had to make it rain. We the best, we the team that's left. Told y'all we was next, one was my focus. I ain't never hopeless, I ball out like Kobe.
Focus, you gotta focus. Else you're hopeless. What you choose? Win or lose, you know the rules.
Never give up, just keep your head up. Despite the pressure, it's gonna get better. You gotta get it, it's now or never.
Focus, you gotta focus. Else you're hopeless. What you choose? Win or lose, you know the rules.
Never give up, just keep your head up. Despite the pressure, it's gonna get better. You gotta get it, it's now or never.
I'm like Kobe in the finals, and I'm going for my 6th ring. We down 2, we need a 3 to win. I'll take the whole thing. I had dreams to get it for my team and put us on the scene. Best believe, clutches in my jeans. I win by any means. I won't be stopped. Grinding in the morning like a coffee shop. If I'ma take us to the top, I cannot let my focus flop. My head is in the game, can't let the level of my focus drop. Cause I will not lose, the game ain't over till you out of clock. Been training for this moment, 4th and inches, this your only shot. I hit the hole and break them off like Barry when he told the rocks a mood to change. You better get out my lane, I'm like a moving train. I don't complain, I just play my game and let it self-explain. I do my thing, guarantee when I'm done that they gon' know my name. Fighting through the pain, I still run it if my ankle sprain. Blood, sweat, and
If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score On Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
Welcome back to That's Debatable. Next segment is going to be AFC West and the NFC West. Going to predict a couple of this schedule slots. Going to break down the schedule a little bit. Just see what we see. Going to start off with the NFC West. AFC West. Where you want to start off at, man? Let's start off at the bottom. How we want to say. I don't want no bias to, my guy over here in the corner. Start off with maybe the 49ers.
Let's do it. Also, we do NFC first.
Yeah, let's start off with the NFC West.
Right. I'm backwards.
A little bit. It's all right. It's all right. Nah, if you're going to start at the bottom. All right. Well, okay, cool. What you got? What you got for the Niners, dog? What you got?
I'm going to let the guy that
We'll walk you through it. The in-house 49ers expert. All right. Regular season at the Lions. That's going to be a win.
Yeah.
Week 2 at the Eagles, win. Week 3 Green Bay, that'll be a tough one.
Win.
I still think they'll take care of Green
I got
Bay
y'all.
at home.
Braun agree with me.
There you go. Give me a little nod.
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 3. Versus Seahawks at home. We'll take the L there just cause. Cardinals win going into the bye week. Coming off the bye week. Win versus the Colts at home. Beat the Bears on the road. Lose to the Cardinals at home. They're going to split that series, They'll beat the Rams at home. They'll beat Jacksonville on the road. They are going to handily take care of the Minnesota Vikings. That'll be an easy W.
Handily? Okay, yeah.
They'll take care of Seattle in Seattle.
Look, you my guy.
All right, they're going to beat the Bengals too. They're going to take care of both of you boys. No big deal.
you're coming to Cincinnati in December. But continue.
Dude, that's a good point. They're going to take the W there. They'll take care of the Falcons. They're going to lose to the Titans. They'll beat the Texans, of course. Everybody's going to beat the Texans this year in case you
Last
don't
game
know.
of the season at the Rams, possibly for the division.
That's going to be a big game.
And that's who I think the NFC West will come down to, the Rams and the Niners.
You think it's going to come down to Week 18?
Yep, I think it's going to come down to Week 18. Seahawks are going to lose their way. Somewhere in the middle of the season, as usual, Seahawks and the Cardinals are just going to be battling it out for the
2, 3,
third spot.
So off the top, I just had them with 4 losses. What's that? 13-4.
Yeah.
Nah, realistically, probably in that 11-6 range.
I got you.
I bet
guys
they
at
get
10
to.
and 7.
I bet they get to 11 or 12 wins.
You know what?
I had Green Bay taking one. You had Green Bay losing. Or
Yep.
I had a Green Bay winning that game. You split the Cardinals backwards with me.
Okay.
I had the Cardinals winning the first game and then losing at home.
Home
Excuse
field.
me. The Cardinals were going to win in Arizona and then lose in San Francisco. I think I had you guys on like maybe a 5-game win streak from week 7 to week 12.
I like
Loss
that.
in Seattle, a loss in Cincinnati because it's in December in Cincinnati. I was kind of tossed up between Tennessee. I don't know what kind of team Tennessee is going to bring, but I had you guys losing that one and then the loss the very last game against the Rams.
It's the Rams.
But it's all going to come down to how Trey Lance can really come out and lead the team if he's going to be the leader over Garoppolo. So I think the defense is the strong point on this team.
Oh, yeah.
Most
The
definitely.
running back is very good, but it's all going to come down to who's going to be the chosen leader to actually lead the team on the offensive side. So
Well, that guy is Kyle Shanahan, to answer your question. But let me see. Just off the strength of looking, I'm about to go off the top. I ain't really get to do this. Week 1 dub, week 2 dub, Sunday Night Football, week 3 dub.
That's a good game.
Possible game of the week 4. Y'all at home, Seattle struggle with y'all. Dub. I got y'all going. Y'all starting out 5-0. At the bye week, y'all going 5-0. Colts, because of the loss to of Carson Wentz, I got y'all winning that game. Going into Chicago, dang. And this is barring health, only health. I don't care if it's Jimmy G or Trey Lance, and if it's Trey Lance, it's trending up higher. This is me being Jimmy G's the guy, and everybody's healthy.
Yeah.
Everybody's back, Kittle, everything. And I'm not doing this to like suck up to you either. I really know my stuff. I like my stuff. Let me see. Colts. That's a dub just because of what's going on with Carson Wentz. The Bears in Chicago. That's a 1:00 game though. So
Halloween game.
Oh, nice.
you know what? Dang, the Niners is gonna be looking good. It's only the thing is it's just help with y'all. Because y'all can beat the Bears, beat the Cardinal. The Cardinal. This is when it's gonna get tough again. Cardinals, but y'all home both of these games. But I got to give y'all a loss somewhere in here. So
At
I got y'all
Jacksonville.
losing to the Rams. Then y'all get it back right with Jacksonville. I think I've already had y'all losing to us, so that's a loss to us. Sorry. Going into Seattle and beating them. Y'all split with Seattle. Y'all beat the Bengals, beat the Falcons, lose to the Titans, beat the Texans. And when it comes down to the division, how many losses is that? I don't even know. If you said you got them going 13-4, you got them going 10-7. Just off the top of the dome, 13-4, 10-7. I'll have to say 12-4, 12-5.
Right, that's the.
Just giving y'all some losses somewhere.
They've got a fairly soft schedule in there.
But y'all could 13-4 is a real possibility. Even 14-3
Right.
is a real
I
possibility.
think you could handle some of those. It's just, being in the NFC West, the toughest division in NFL.
Yeah, I
you know.
give y'all all of the NFC West games.
It's hard to sweep those series. You assume they split them, and then typical NFL style,
Improvement.
going across the country, you lose one here or there, road games,
is just health.
and they're pros. Like anybody can beat anybody legitimately.
Right, any given Sunday.
On
really
any
comes
given
down to
Sunday.
who comes out prepared the most.
Yep.
And I think coming off of buys, that's a big thing. Like, if you can get a person or a team that has played a tough game, maybe you get a Monday night game of your opponent, and then they're coming in a short week, and you're coming off a bye, you're more prepared, you're more rested. So I think a lot of factors go into, when you're talking about the NFL, it's more than just, the stats. It's not really a stat thing. It's any given Sunday.
We'll do the Cardinals next.
We'll go down to Arizona, city of retirement.
I'll kick it off. Cardinals, the city of retirement, which is true because, hey, it's a great city to retire in.
Arizona is a
But-
state.
You're right.
Yeah.
Phoenix.
just
Actually, they're not
halfway
even in
through.
Phoenix. I think they're in
Glendale.
yeah.
Well, that's where the stadium is. Phoenix, Glendale, whatever. It's
So,
yeah.
We're all stars.
people retire in Arizona. You can agree with that. But they made some big additions this year. From starting last year with, heck, you could say that the Cardinals tried to make waves the past 3 off seasons, from Josh Rosen being a fail to immediately drafting Kyler Murray to immediately hiring my guy. Who was that coach that they fired that same year? Supply guy, I think.
Arizona.
Yeah, they fired a guy. Or did they fire
They went
Bruce Arians?
They went from Bruce Arians to what's his name?
But all within a year, like they shouldn't have fired Bruce, or like it was something where they shouldn't have fired somebody. No, Todd Bowles was a coach, wasn't it? Todd Bowles was the replacement to Arians.
Todd Bowles was Arizona's defensive coordinator.
I thought he
They
got the head
fired
coach's-
Arians, and then he took over for a
Yeah,
year
and
or
then they-
two,
and then they let him
he
go.
went to the Jets.
unexpectedly,
Something like
or
that.
he went to the Jets. But yeah, somebody got. Anyway, point is Rosen, coach get fired. They bring in Kyler Murray. They get the number one pick. Draft Kyler Murray. Little man is doing his thing out there.
Dude, he could get ball.
Cliff Kingsbury
There you
is
go,
the
Kingsbury.
son of. He's not. I'm saying this figuratively. He's the son of Sean McVay. he's figuratively. He best friends. However you want to look. He plugged in. He got the opportunity because of Sean McVay. He really didn't do nothing at Texas Tech. Heck, his quarterback was Patrick Mahomes, and he didn't do nothing. So
All right. Well, here, let me jump in with this before you dive into Arizona.
right.
San Francisco. So I gamble. I sports bet, so I pulled up the divisional odds. San Fran is the favorite.
Win the division.
San Francisco's the favorite to win the division, followed by the Rams, and it's plus 190 and plus 200. So there's
That's
a
what I said it's
tenth
gonna
of a
come down to. Them
difference.
two teams right there.
And then the Seahawks are just behind them at plus 275, and the Cardinals are at plus 400. So easily
Nobody believes in them.
easily the tightest division of at least from the Vegas end of it.
Definitely hard to call, but if it's
Go anyway. They were talking about 4 teams, an entire division making the playoffs.
I think the only way,
Yeah.
the only way, nah,
which would be wild.
that's not gonna happen. One of them gonna get left out. The other teams in the NFC too talented. The NFC itself is too loaded, along with their hard division.
Right.
The NFC itself is loaded. So of course they got 4 teams, but I think the NFC North will have 2 teams because the Packers will make it, even though they won't win the division, and my Vikings. So
It's gonna be interesting.
and you got the NFC East make it by default.
Yeah.
Because of the winner. And then the
Right,
NFC
you got-
South is going to have 1. So it's a total of 7 teams. I got the Bucks winning the South, Vikings and Packers making it out of the North. I don't have Dallas. We didn't. Are we getting? No, we're not getting
Nope,
into the
not
East
in
yet.
the East.
I actually have the football team
Anyway.
winning.
Defense.
Yeah.
Heck, even if the Giants could stay healthy, they're to be looked out for. Danny Fumbles
they're
got to quit
not.
fumbling. Danny Dimes got to quit fumbling.
Giants,
But,
Giants are gonna be terrible.
So it's a pot. So that's 3. No, that's 4 teams. I got AFC 1, the NFC South, and the NFC South, NFC East, NFC South, NFC East. Both got 1 in the Bucks and or Cowboys in the football team. Then I say the North got 2. Which that's 4 teams.
Right.
So which leaves 3 teams. Yeah,
Right.
so one of the teams in the NFC West will get left out and it will most likely be the Cardinals.
We'll see. They might ball out, man. You send AJ Green down there. They don't have much on them.
The football team. If you still watching this, Willie, not you, Will.
The other Willie.
Who's ever chiming in here? If you still watching, buddy, yes, the Washington football team go win a division. Don't be in here being a Cowboys fan, but you're more than welcome to comment, buddy. Willie Latson.
Willie.
That's my guy.
That's my guy. Will,
Yeah,
what's up?
I
Shout
got
out, Will.
a little biased Will here, so he's probably in support of all Willies.
I know
Pause.
he's rooting for the football team. Like I said, they got a stellar defense, which I think they're going to come out and show why those 2 with Sweat and my guy Chase Young on the ends. It's going to be hard to contain those 2. But
Dude, they finished strong too, and that's what I was looking at because we were looking at the Chargers schedule, and the
Bucks to take this
Chargers
run
and
for their money.
the football team open up the season, and it just got me thinking about how Washington ended last year, and that defense was rolling the last like 4 or 5 weeks. I don't know if they won like 4 out of their last 5. They gave the Browns a heck of a game in the
Bucks.
Excuse me, in the playoffs. I mean,
who's their quarterback?
The football team.
Drew Haskins.
Ryan's Fitzmagic.
Exactly. Question mark.
Haskins.
Nah, Haskins plays in Pittsburgh.
It's Fitzmagic.
Oh, that's right.
It's Fitzmagic, man. Fitzmagic. My guy Fitzy.
Hey,
My guy
I got
Fitzy.
Arizona going 9 and
Is he
8.
in Washington?
Yeah, I got the Cardinals coming in last. I'm not about to waste my time going out. They're losing week 2. They're losing week 4.
I got them on a lot.
They're
of
losing to the Browns, the Cardinals.
They get a win against Jacksonville, possibly.
Hey, I was just in Jacksonville last night.
Would you
asking
say,
people
Will,
where
8
Trevor
and 9?
Lawrence at?
I got 9 and 8.
Yeah, right in there, about 500.
All right, moving on up. Let's go to Seattle. We could do the Rams last. We could do the
Seattle,
Rams
dude,
last.
the same team. I feel like we've seen the Seattle Seahawks team. This is just rinse and repeat. Like
Same story.
Russ is carrying the team. Metcalf is a baller. Lockett gets it done every now and then. The running back's been a question mark for 4 or 5 years now, ever since Beast Mode left. Their line's just like, yay, nay. The defense, they're still riding an old defense that was
Everybody
good
had
4
them.
years ago. But yet they still get, they win 10 games every year. Russ gets
That's
them to,
about where I got them.
Russ gets them to the playoffs. They just going to
If they make it, they're going to be the 7th seed. That's what I think.
I got them at 12 and 5, just based off the strength of the schedule.
I hope
they have a kind of a tough schedule, but it's at the same time it's winnable. So
12 and 5. What's some notable wins you got?
big win.
Eagles
I
winning.
think that second week.
Isaiah called. Not to cut you off, my fault, Will. Isaiah called because as these people comment, I want to let them know that I see y'all comment.
Yeah.
Eagles winning the division.
Next.
Isaiah called oil hot.
Sorry, bro.
The Eagles is winning. Oh, you tripping, bro? Hey, shout out Jalen Hurts. Full of intent. He's like a knockoff Dak, which just ain't a bad
Poor
thing.
man's Dak.
And Dak is a poor man's who?
Dude, I hate the Cowboys, but Dak's
Our
got some
defense will be
skills.
top in the league, top half in the league. Yeah, at the bottom
Eagles?
at the bottom of the top half. So that means y'all 15.
At the top of the bottom half.
At the top of the bottom. Yeah.
It's got to be rough being an Eagles fan.
Offense. Real sweet.
Hey, Eagles need a lot right now. So. Just that division alone, that's the
I'm
only
with
reason
you,
kind
bro.
of can carry. I mean, you got the Washington football
Y'all
team.
division
You
is
got
trash.
the Cowboys. You look at that division, and they got a lot of just flip a coin and you get a winner that week.
Their division now is what the NFC West used to be. Remember when the Seahawks made it at 7-9? That's also the year Beast Mode did the on the Saints.
Yep.
So that's what the NFC East is now. But with a top 25 offense, we'll sweep Dallas. If that's the case, you're not aiming high, buddy.
Dude, the Giants have done that too. Made it. At
You're not
7.
aiming high at all because the top 25 offense isn't going. A top 25 offense isn't going to beat that top defense that's in Washington, sir. So Isaiah Caldwell, it doesn't matter what you do against Dallas. I know they're the football team. Hey, this is LeBron's football team too, but he didn't even agree with me. That's not enough.
Back to where we
Yeah,
were.
back to where he was at.
NFC
Mo.
West, Seahawks.
Seahawks. What you got,
Yes.
Rye? You said 12-5, Will.
All right. Well, being the resident 49er, I am anti-Seahawks. Russ and Marshawn have cost me 2 fantasy football championships. I got an ex-girlfriend that was a Seahawks fan. So I'm hoping they go like 4-12, 4-13. It'd be nice. I'm hoping they collapse this year. Like I just said, that it's the same team. They haven't done anything to really change the culture around there. It's still Pete Carroll. It seems like they just tried out the same thing every year. And I have a feeling that this year the bottom's going to fall out. You got to adapt in the NFL. You got to evolve. You got to change things up. Russ just can't keep carrying it for the 9th year in a row. One injury here or there could really drop the bottom out. So I've got the Hawks going about 4-13.
4?
Maybe 6 games. I'm hoping they just tank.
Ooh,
That's tough, man.
that's harsh. Is that
Somebody's
is
got
that
to.
objectivity?
No, that's just
Hatred?
it's
Not
just my
hatred.
feeling.
I don't want to use that hater word.
Yeah,
again.
it's not a.
like just a distaste. Like
Right.
it's not your favorite food.
I
so
I oppose that. I'm just maybe it's
you
just a hope.
they like
This is what
Brussels. They're your Brussels sprouts.
I love Brussels sprouts too.
Oh my god. You know what?
No, that's just kind of it's kind of what I think's going to happen. It's just you can't see that the trend's got to change, and
The
maybe
trend's got
they'll
to change, but that schedule is not,
See,
you look at the schedule, like you said, the coach.
so you got
nobody knows what the
4
coach
and
is gonna do.
13. You got 4 and 13.
I got 12 and 5,
You
man.
got 12 and 5. You got 4 and 13. I'm somewhere in the middle because I got them finishing 3rd in the division. So 3 things that happened this offseason. Number 1, Tom Brady won. And Tom Brady was able to have his way for the 2nd offseason in a row because as soon as he got there, he was making changes. And 2, everything was ran by him this year again, and he put the word in to bring everyone back. I don't think anyone's gone. So everyone's back. It's 2 other prominent players that was in the NFC before Tom Brady even arrived over here, which is Aaron Rodgers before Patrick Mahomes came out of nowhere, who was regarded as the quote-unquote best quarterback, and Russell Wilson has always been regarded as a top 5 quarterback. Neither one of them has had the type of pull that Tom Brady has able to have with their respected organizations, which, if you want to be technical, Tom had to leave to even get that type of pull. But there was rumors before Aaron Rodgers and all of this crap happened. It was the Russell Wilson rumors of him trying to go to Vegas, the Cowboys. It was a couple other teams in there. I can't think of them off the top, but I know most notably the Raiders, the Cowboys. He was trying to get to New York. I think the Jets too was tied to that. Maybe Miami for Tannehill. Not Tannehill, for Tua. So rumor the offseason, Russ has had a loud offseason, but it got quieted quick because they made the moves to keep their quarterback at least happy, unlike the Packers. Aaron Rodgers is still letting them have it. Russ shut up for a little second, and once the season start off good like it normally does, and once it hits that slump, we'll see how Russ responds then. But for now, Russ is quiet.
Well,
so
Russ is a very different
to your point-
personality than Rodgers and those guys too.
True, because Rodgers is toxic. Russ isn't toxic. He's a diva, but he's not toxic.
Rodgers ain't toxic.
He's 100% toxic. He's a toxic man. we're not on the NFC North right
Anyway.
So to that, I said all that to say to your point of the bottom possibly falling out this year. Yeah,
Fingers crossed.
if that happens, oh yeah, Pete Carroll's out of there. I still
Agreed.
don't think they trade Russ, but
I wouldn't trade Russ.
no, I wouldn't either. But yeah, so now that I said all of that, I'm gonna look at the schedule.
Well, seeing that while you're looking at the schedule, I just went through and picked those, and yeah, now I got them at 10 wins. I mean, their schedule's pretty soft, and it's just.
Okay,
But they continue to do what they do, and Russell Wilson is.
I'm gonna get back to
one
you,
of the
Isaiah
best
Caldwell. Let me
quarterbacks
get
in
my
the league.
predictions out. Just stay tuned. Don't leave, Isaiah, and share this stuff because we need love over here at Debaytable. And I don't even know how you're watching this right now. I shared it to so many different places, but wherever you're sharing it at, join the Debaytable group. But all right, so oh my gosh, I had high expectations for the Colts and the Wentz this year. The Colts and Wentz this year,
We
but
see
that
them a lot.
because week 1, I got Rams winning the NFC West. That's debatable. Got the Colts. Oh, the Colts, man. All right, so they're gonna beat the Colts opening day. They start off 2-0.
Tennessee.
They start off 2-0.
Got that too.
Lose. Then they start
Maybe
up.
that's
So once they get to week 5, they will be 2-2. Then they'll lose to the Rams. Then they will. So they're gonna lose. Okay, so what's that? 2-3. Then okay, so they'll be 2-3 by the time they get to the Rams. Beat the Steelers, beat the Saints, beat the Jacks for 3 dubs in a row, which would make them 4-3. At the bye, coming out of the bye, losing to the Packers, beating the Cardinals, losing to the football team. No, beating the football team. I had y'all splitting, so losing to. Yeah. Okay, so you're splitting with the Niners because I got them losing week 3 or 4. Ultimately, what's that? So 1, 2, 3, 6 losses. So probably somewhere around there with y'all. Yeah, 11-6, 10-7, somewhere in there. 3rd place in the division because I really think that the Niners and the Rams are both gonna have great years. Yeah, Rashard, if you're listening to this, Brody, yeah, I think your team is gonna have a good year, just not that good. Come playoff time. All right, that took a little second to get through the Cardinals. Let me see what we got here. I got the Rams winning the NFC West. That's debatable. 10 games max for them. So you're dependent on Fitzmagic. I'm not dependent on Fitzmagic. I'm dependent on my guy Young in that defense and my guy McLaren in that offense.
So once back to the NFC West,
Rams.
I got the Rams at 11-6. We got them kind of at the same he's between the 49ers and Rams for the NFC West. Rams kind of got one of those schedules. I guess the whole NFC West has a schedule that's kind of fluffed a little bit. And it's all going to come down to, of course, injuries being, non-factor.
Now, why do you say it's fluffed?
Because it's just like it's the NFC East that they're playing one. So you got those guys that you got to play that gives you extra wins.
You said the NFC East is fluffed?
No, the NFC West has an easy schedule.
Like all teams, I guess.
They're
Because-
beatable
because-
because they can go into so we just start the Colts. Nobody knows what you're going to get with that. So we start with the Rams, or with the Rams schedule.
Yeah.
So the Colts, you get a win there. You go to New York, possibly a win there. I got them losing to San Francisco in San Francisco. They go at home against the Seahawks. That's a win. They go to Tampa Bay and they lose. You get an easy win.
What?
The Rams go to Tampa Bay and win?
I got that. Hang on.
September 26th.
Yeah, that's week 3. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at it. My schedule is a little different.
All right.
So I'm going down the list. I'm sorry.
Cool. Never mind.
Okay, so I'll start back. I see how
I
it goes.
apologize. You just
week one.
lost. Yeah, cool.
Okay, week 1 in Chicago. I was looking at it wrong. Week 1 in Chicago, win still. That's going to be a pretty good game, though. You know, you got Aaron Donald against Khalil Mack. That's a defensive matchup. That's going to be, bargained with. And then you got Matt Stafford, who's going to be in his first game with the Rams. So you really don't know what you're going to get, but I still like them over Andy Dalton or, my guy. I'm not even going to say his name right now, but that's a win. So then you go to the
Justin
Colts.
Fields.
There you go.
For the people who don't know.
But he's not going to be in the game. I think it's going to be Andy.
Right.
But Justin's been looking good. I don't know if you guys been catching him. He's been looking real good.
Of course.
In
He's
training
a
camp
beast.
right now.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot.
But then you go to the Colts, and that should be a win.
Yep.
Now you go to Tampa Bay. That's their first loss. And then you go at home against Arizona, a win. Yeah. Seattle at Seattle. That's a loss. New York, which one of those? This is where I'm saying the fluff comes in at. So you look at this part of their schedule. For sure. New York, the Lions, Houston, those 3 easy wins. So now you go to Tennessee. Nobody knows what you're really going to get with Tennessee, but I still think the
they're
Rams
a contender. I mean, but respectfully, they're a contender. We just don't know.
Respect them.
We just don't know if they could get over the Kansas City hump. As far as everybody else, though, the Titans is a legit team,
right? Especially
with the additional Julio. But my fault. Continue.
So now you go to they're going to the 49ers. I got them losing that game, a loss to Green Bay, a win in Jacksonville. They're going to Arizona for a loss. It's something about the Arizona team where it's like you don't know who you're going to get that game. So you've seen Arizona come into games and they had a Hail Mary to Hopkins at the end of the game, or they've had Murray had a pretty nice run. So you really don't know what you're going to get. But at Arizona,
brought that up. That messed up the Bills season last year because they should. If that don't happen, they're the 1 seed. But my fault.
But when you go into Arizona, into that toaster oven, you don't know what you're going to get when you go to that team. So I got them losing to Arizona. They're going to win against Seattle. Got them winning against, I know you're going to debate that one, but winning against Minnesota, losing to Baltimore, and then winning the last game of the season. So I got them at 11-6. So
like me, do you have that Week 18 game being for the division, or do you have?
No, that's a division game because I don't see nobody else in that division. That it's not Seattle and it's definitely not Arizona. So that game for between
San Fran and LA,
right? That's going to be for the division.
That's a pretty good call. It should be, unless San Fran's
and
got
that,
a 3-game.
To be honest, that breaks my tie because I got them 49ers at 10-7, and then they'd be 11-6.
There you go.
So winner of that game takes all.
What you got, Ryan?
I got them right there too. 10-7. That's what I was looking at because we were going to cover the AFC West as well. We'll probably get to that next week. But you bring up the Week 18, matchups for the division is always a huge deal. Usually you'll see on the AFC West side, you'll see Broncos, Raiders, those kinds of things. So I was hoping to see Chargers, Denver in that Week 18, but it's not for the AFC West because we were going to cover that. So I agree with you there. NFC West, Week 18 for the division. San Francisco, L.A. Unless San Fran's got it wrapped up, which they probably should be. The 49ers will probably be undefeated going into Week 18. I mean, let's be honest.
No, heavens no. Y'all might start off 7-0 though, but I think both of y'all wrong as far as both teams' records because I feel like the winner of this division will be the 2nd seed. See, that means I think
behind
y'all
the Pack?
two got. Yeah, no,
The Bucks.
Behind the Bucks.
Behind the Bucks. Yeah, I got the Pack. I have the Pack. Like with all this stuff that's going on behind the scenes in Green Bay, I don't think that Aaron Rodgers and them is going to have a great year this year. I think the great year that was supposed to happen was last year.
They did have a great year last year.
That's what I'm saying. That's why this year is going to be. I don't know if he will. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers will go as far as sabotage.
Last year. They weren't even
the
hyped up
Packers,
as the NFC champs going in. It was all Brady and the Packers weren't a big.
No, everybody believed in the Packers. Everybody picked the Packers to win that game. Nobody thought the Bucks. Nobody go back and check the odds. Nobody thought the Bucks would even get there. Nobody thought the Bucks would get there outside of me and Skip Bayless.
There was a ton of people was Bucks and Chiefs like preseason. Most of the preseason Super Bowl was like Bucks.
I got most people picking
most that I saw.
Bucks and not Bucks.
But anyway,
Packers Chiefs is what I've seen a lot of.
Anyway,
But no, Green Bay team can't go under the radar. That's impossible. Not with that not with King toxicity.
But see, that the one thing that would do that is to send Tom Brady to the NFC and to lead the Bucs to the Super Bowl. That's all last year was Tom Brady. Like as I recall, this is all
I mean, that's hindsight.
Subjective, right?
But hindsight, but nah. People really thought that the Saints was going to beat the Bucs.
Oh,
The
that's
Saints,
right.
I think the argument going into that Saints
was
game,
ridiculous.
the Saints beat them
That
twice
was
and
ridiculous.
all this other crap, right? So going into that game, they already was being doubted, and Brady went in there.
Well,
and spanked
Tampa
them.
Bay got doubted 'cause they were
sent
figuring out their
I'm saying we because I'm not a Bucks fan, but since I say we to my predictions, so we as in my prediction, winning the Superdome and gave Drew
got
Brees a retirement present, a loss.
We got
So,
you.
Then I'm trying to think who was out there. No, after that was the Chiefs.
But anyway,
I mean
you
the Packers.
think the Pack's gonna win? You think they'll win the NFC?
Yeah, but no, I don't got the Packers. I got the Bucks again coming out the NFC. But no. I think that the winner of the NFC West, whether if it's the Rams or the 49ers, is going to be the second seed in the NFC. That's what I got. Of course, a lot of people got the winner of the NFC West as the third team.
Tampa Bay does have a really easy schedule.
Yes. And I got them coming out one because of it.
All right.
Or at worst two. But we'll
Nope.
see.
San Francisco.
My
wins
NFC
the
West order without the records being added is a tie between the Rams and I can't necessarily say who because I don't know what you guys are going to do. I want to go all in on the 49ers in that division at least.
Do it.
But y'all's health.
They'll be, dude.
The defense carries them. Defense
They're
wins
gonna be-
championships.
they're
But
gonna
like I
be
said,
healthy.
Y'all got the second best, not too far from the first best, but the second best tight end. You got one of the top young coaches. I'll take Shanahan over McVay, but by a little bit. Because them two are both one of the top young guys coming.
I'm anxious to see what Stafford can do. I've always liked Matt Stafford.
Yeah, me
Poor
too.
guy stuck in Detroit. We'll see if he
He
can
wanted
just
that money.
unload.
Can't get mad at him wanting money. He stayed because of money. That's just that simple.
Right.
He
I'm
coulda-
not. I'm not.
I would have liked for
Not
him to be a
working with
Viking,
that.
though.
I just feel bad for anyone stuck in Detroit that long. But
Oh, my God. Their
Speak-
coach.
Dan Campbell's on something else, man.
Bro, no, he's on coffee apparently. I
That's
come
a
in,
lot.
I take 2 cups. Like, bro, I hate Dan Campbell.
He's gonna give
There's
us.
nothing I like about that coach, bro. From biting kneecaps to
Yep.
I start my day off at Starbucks and I get 2 Bainties. That's the really big ones. And I get real full to the top and I just go and go. Like, bro.
Gonna say I can't. Yeah, I've never been able to order. I didn't even know you could order a 40-ounce coffee at Starbucks.
Bro. I'm sick of dude.
Right.
His they need to quit giving him the microphone.
we'll see if they don't go 0-17. I think everybody here picked it for 0-17 for the Lions. We'll see what happens with them, though.
1-16, 0-17. I think I picked it
Close
to go
enough.
1-16.
Yeah,
Maybe
you
2
took
wins.
it over the Eagles. Flag was fine.
I picked it to go 1-16. But yeah. So but my battling it out for the NFC West, the Rams, 49ers, and Seahawks and Cardinals is just at the bottom of it. It doesn't third, fourth place doesn't matter. But in this case though, it's a possibility that the third place team in the NFC West can make the playoffs. But as far as being a real top tier contender, it's gonna be between the Rams and the 49ers.
Agreed there. I'm excited. I can't wait. Me and the group got our fantasy football leagues back fired up. We've been talking about changes, reactivated those. I did a couple mock drafts. So, yeah, over the last weekend, I'm ready now. I'm ready for the season to get here. I heard today, I think 31 days until
Yeah, you got your first
Cowboys
preseason
Bucks.
Preseason starts. Well, we already had our first
this
preseason
weekend.
game,
Or
Oh, yeah.
is it this weekend?
August 12th.
Well, they had the Hall of Fame game, but I meant till
Actual kickoff, September 12th.
Oh yeah, we're only a month away.
Well, the
No, it's not
9th.
even September
It's the
12th.
9th. Cowboys
Yeah,
and
right.
Bucks are that Thursday.
Right.
Bring it on.
Well, we'll cover the AFC West on the next
Text
segment
messages
or on the
that I
next
see
show.
live.
Yep.
God dang.
And it's been a pleasure with you two guys, man. Thank for everybody that's tuned in.
Yeah, thanks
Got
for
any words of encouragement for anybody, but like I said, thanks for tuning in.
Everybody, just keep up the That's Debatable page on Facebook. Keep contributing with your comments. Keep contributing with your posts, and we trying to get the show on par with what the Facebook is doing. So we gonna keep coming at your heads every Monday from whether it's at 5, 5:30, 6 o'clock to 7. We gonna be here.
Keep tuning in. Keep sharing.
Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is That's Debatable, and I'm your host, Jeremiah Bays, with my co-host.
And I'm Will Ward. Spoiler alert, 17-0 for the Chiefs next week.
I'm the voice of reason, Ryan Dietrich, the in-house 49ers fan. Thanks again for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share.
Hey, I brought Brian out with me.
The champ, the king.
We know we supporting this man right here. In case you don't know who Easy Money, aka Easy Money Sniper. Yeah, we celebrating KD. That's your imaginary flowers, my man. Here you go.
All things Team USA.
All your flowers.
It's a good rap.
What I tell you, USA, USA. We in here. That's debatable.
Never look back. Hey, see this that championship music right here. That game 7, 3 seconds left on the clock. Are you gonna take it? Don't lose your focus. Yeah,
focus, you gotta focus. Else you're hopeless what you choose. Win or lose, you know the rules.
Never give up, just keep your head up. Despite the pressure, it's gonna get better. You gotta get it, it's now or never.
Focus, you gotta focus. Else you're hopeless what you choose. Win or lose, you know the rules.
Never give up, just keep your head up. Despite the pressure, it's gonna get better. You gotta get it, it's now or never. I'm like Brown, Brady in his prime. Houston 95 against all odds. I promise I will rise. I got that Jordan drive, it will to win. Cause from deep within, boy, I get it in. From the start to the very end, me and it to win. Switch it up, it's 2 minutes left. Gotta get the touch. I'm like Tebow when it comes to clutch. You can count on me, 4th and go, and I'm gonna score. That's the Super Bowl, I'll get that ring. Had to catch my dream, did it with my team. Feel like Poppy bottom of the ninth on our second out. Up the back, and the base is loaded, and we down by 3. Home run on the second strike. Tried to throw a curve, I'm on course. Winning is the source. We headed up north, that's to the top. I won't ever drop, I won't ever stop. Popping bottles of the champagne, had to make it rain. We the best, we the team that's left. Told y'all we was next, won't lose my focus. I ain't never hopeless, I ball out like Kobe.
Focus, you gotta focus. Else you're hopeless what you choose. Win or lose, you know the rules.
Never give up, just keep your head up. Despite the pressure, it's gonna get better. You gotta get it, it's now or never.
Focus, you gotta focus. Else you're hopeless what you choose. Win or lose, you know the rules.
Never give up, just keep your head up. Despite the pressure, it's gonna get better. You gotta get it, it's now or never.
I'm like Kobe in the finals, and I'm going for my 6th ring. We down 2, we need a 3 to win. I'll take the whole thing. I had dreams to get it for my team and put us on the scene. Best believe, clutches in my jeans. I win by any means, I won't be stopped. Grinding in the morning like a coffee shop. If I'ma take us to the top, I cannot let my focus flop. My head is in the game, can't let the level of my focus drop. Cause I will not lose, the game ain't over till you out of clock. Been training for this moment, 4th and inches, this your only shot. I hit the hole and break them off like Barry when he told the rocks a mood to change. You better get out my lane, I'm like a moving train. I don't complain, I just play my game and let it self-explain. I do my thing, guarantee when I'm done that they gon' know my name. Fighting through the pain, I still run it if my ankle sprain. Blood, sweat, and tears, all is worth it when you win the range. Motivation, dedication, yeah, this is how I stay focused. You gotta focus, else you're hopeless what you choose. Win or lose, you know the rules.
Never give up, just keep your head up. Despite the pressure's gonna get better. You gotta get it, it's now or never.
Focus, you gotta focus, else you're hopeless what you choose. Win or lose, you know the rules.
Never give up, just keep your head up. Despite the pressure's gonna get better. You gotta get it, it's now or never. Never look back.